There we go. I'm ready.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm not ready.
Yes, you are.
Hit stop.
I can't hear you.
I'm not ready.
Studio.
Oh, oh, sorry.
Put on your mic.
Welcome inside the locker room.
Okay, here we are. Feel Good Friday vibes only inside of the locker room. Joining Kaide Baker and myself, Shakwa Martins, we have got the Lady Supreme herself. As Monday comes around, make sure you send her chocolates, make sure you send her flowers, but don't send her bad news about her favorite teams. Tagga Tagga, good morning.
Good morning. I like that chocolate on Monday. See, I like you. You're good to me. Good morning, everybody. Thank God it's Friday. It's time to sleep. To sleep. To sleep.
Madam, stay awake for the next 30 minutes, okay? That's all we require of you.
And of course, the rest of the Lagos, please join us and let's have this conversation as well. You know the platforms. If you don't know the platforms, we're streaming live on YouTube. First things first, it's youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. And also send your messages to 08094440981. And yes, that's it.
Yeah.
No, that's not it actually.
YouTube? No, you've done YouTube.
Twitter, hashtag lockerroom981. There are 2 R's in locker room, so don't forget that.
Yeah, do not do that. Okay, so we are already on the live stream, but let's get straight into the stories. Should we do a rundown of all the stories?
Yes, let's do that rundown.
Okay, so we've got the Tigers losing to China in FIBA World Cup qualifiers, facing France on Friday, and NBA Nets trade Harden to 76ers in a deal for Simmons and others, according to reports. Now, Kamila, oh my goodness, Valieva, she had her failed drug test confirmed, and there's so much that needs to be unpacked in that. And then the question of the day is what Zuma did to cats worse than racism? Moving on, Chelsea desperate to avoid repeat Club World Cup flop, and wounded Inter face Napoli as the title race hots up. Also, we've got Arsenal going fifth after Gabriel Seal's win at Wolves, and PSG have both eyes on Rennes' revenge. This according to Pochettino.
So please send your messages.
So many stories.
Yes, so let's see. Okay, so we're going to do something today. We're going to put a timer on some of the stories.
Okay,
Yeah, so I want you guys to time me out there too. Very quick analysis.
I'm
How many minutes are
ready.
we looking at?
I'm gonna,
How many minutes are we looking at?
the
Time is
timekeeper.
good. Time
The
is
timekeeper's
The
already okay, you know
timekeeper
what?
is already running. Yeah.
The seconds are
That's good.
counting
That's
down.
good.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, Kade, take it.
Okay, so the international, no, not the international one now. Tigers. Okay, let's talk about the Tigers. Tigers, Nigeria's senior women basketball team on Thursday in Serbia lost 67-90 to China in their opening match at the 2022 FIBA Women's World Cup qualifiers. I think we saw this coming.
Yes, so opening game actually.
Say, Kayode, you asked the question of the day. When do they play Mali?
Yeah, so they play Mali on Sunday. It's basketball games, it's football matches. I don't know why people make that mistake. So tennis match, football match, basketball games. All
Thank
right,
you,
so
thank you, thank you.
let's go to that. First things first. Well, yes, you all saw this coming. But what you didn't see was that the game was over after the first quarter. It was like we were playing against. It was like the Nigerian team. Were amateurs playing against pros.
Lord have mercy.
The Chinese are good at this. So they came into this game with the expertise, with the experience, with the reputation. Nigeria went into the team without their main point guard, Nezi Nekalus. She was injured, so she didn't make the trip. So we had only one point guard left, who really is a backup point guard, and we struggled.
No.
We struggled from beyond the arc. I think we made only 2 3-pointers of the 10 we attempted to take. But we did wake up in the closing embers of the game. I think that was because China already said, well, we are leading these people by 26 points. Why are we still playing this hard? So they slowed down. And then, of course, Nigeria came into the game towards the end of the game. But unfortunately, it was a little too late. It was expected. Against France, though, it's going to be tough. But France also struggled against Mali, which is why I'm wondering if there's any easy team in this group. Mali lost to France by 11 points.
Oh, wow.
No, 10 points. It was 77-67. So 10 points. However, it was a very tough one. So even the Mali we think is easy. It's not
Oh
easy.
no. Okay. Well, there you go. We'll see what happens on Sunday. And three-time NBA scoring champion James Harden was traded by the Brooklyn Nets to the Philadelphia 76ers in a deal for Australian Ben Simmons and other players. This is what the Nets had to say yesterday.
Yes, so a huge one. Trade deadline yesterday happened, and next thing we hear, the Brooklyn Nets want to trade James Harden. First of all, that was not the one thing we saw coming. If the Brooklyn Nets were going to trade anybody, it'd be Kyrie, who is not available to play many games because he's not taking any vaccination.
But hold on, I thought didn't he say that he wanted to go?
No, Harden wasn't necessarily the one that wanted to go. It was
Okay.
Ben Simmons that didn't want to play for the 76ers.
Ah.
Yeah. After the coach threw him out because he didn't want to train.
Ah.
After
Oh,
people
wow.
had gotten on his shoulder, on his back last playoffs because he can't take jump shots. So
Wow.
a lot of build up to it. But what happened was it was the shock. First of all, the Brooklyn Nets are trading James Harden. He's been injured for the past 3 games. He's 33. Yes, so we understand if you're trading a 33-year-old James Harden for a 25 or a 26-year-old Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, yeah, and 2 first-round picks. We understand that if you're Brooklyn Nets, sorry, if you're Philadelphia 76ers, but it's an indisciplined, irresponsible talented 26-year-old that cannot take a jump shot.
Wow.
So at the end of the day,
Wow.
even yes, he's a 33-year-old, he's a veteran, but he puts in the work ethic and the way that the trade goes on in the NBA. Talent are a dime a dozen. I'm not going to trade a James Harden for Ben Simmons any day of the week. But Brooklyn Nets have taken the dive. What it means is that on one end, Philadelphia 76ers will now have Joel Embiid and James Harden, and on the other end, it being Brooklyn Nets with Kyrie, Ben Simmons, and Kevin Durant. Now, the thing about Kyrie, like I said, because of his vaccination status, he cannot play in some courts. He cannot play some games. He certainly cannot play at home.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's missing a lot of games.
Wow.
So now they have KD trying to make all the buckets that Ben Simmons will not make. But then again, Ben Simmons can try to shock me and say that in this time he has been sitting at home, he's been attempting some jump shots. So let's wait and see.
Okay, moving on. Remember, hashtag lockerroom981 up on Twitter. Let's hear from you on that platform and youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. Keep watching and keep commenting on the live stream.
Okay, so let's move on to our next story. This one's about Kamila, right? So the International Testing Agency has confirmed teenage Russian figure skater, that's Kamila Valieva, failed a drug test in December. Now, the 15-year-old was part of a team which claimed figure skating gold on Monday, but the medals were not awarded because of legal issue. Now, the Russian Anti-Doping Agency lifted her suspension, enabling her to continue at the Beijing Games.
Okay, so yes, so really huge deal. First of all, she is the favorite for everything figure skating. So when the teams were coming out, you know how teams are coming out, I'm always Team USA, they have the skill. I said, China will try. Those were the two. Next thing I just heard, Russia. And I kept hearing the commentators, they know all these really young girls, and they kept going, the favorite Valieva. Then this girl comes on, and she does the quadruple jump. She's the first woman that has attempted and executed
Oh, wow.
the quadruple jump in a competition, because it's so risky that
she made that thing. She died twice.
yes,
Right?
it's so risky in a competition. People don't attempt it.
Wow.
It's very risky because so they'd rather keep to other simple ones than to do the one that they're not sure they can do it. It's so risky, people don't think it. So when I saw her do it, I was like, this 15-year-old girl has cojones. It turns out it was not just cojones she had in her system. So what it is that she failed a drug test in December, a banned drug by WADA. You can use it for heart condition, but it's also, they found that WADA banned it because they found out that it helps with performance. Now, she failed that test in December. It was Rustada that saw the test. She failed it. She was provisionally suspended. As usual, once your sample has come back positive for anything, you're provisionally suspended. Turns out, though, that she gets to Beijing. I don't know why. she was allowed to go to Beijing. Then Ruseda, when she gets to Beijing, Ruseda overturns
Oh,
her
Ah.
her ban and allows her to compete. However, it was her sample that got to Stockholm, Sweden. WADA saw it and flagged it immediately. So WADA flags it immediately, and they found out that this is a December sample. So first of all, she's supposed to be on suspension. Why is she here? So even if her recent samples were clean, she's supposed to be suspended. So the question is, how is a suspended athlete winning gold? And if I'm the US, I'll be protesting because that gold should be mine. Because US came second, which means they got silver. But I'll be protesting because she's also slated to go in for the individual figure skating, and like they said,
she'll clean out.
exactly, she's the favorite to win because she's good.
Quadruple.
Exactly, and so it's a real issue because first of all, it's a legal one first because she's supposed to be banned. So CAS is looking into that issue, and so she's supposed to be banned. So who let her come in? And then if she says that she was allowed by Rosada, which is the Russian anti-doping body, to compete, then WADA now has to step in and say no, but these are our rules. She cannot compete. So those are the things they have to deal with. That's the legal issue they have to deal with before they start getting to it. But what it means is that the medal ceremony is still on hold. We don't still know who has won gold yet.
Wow, 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 wow.
But the thing is, it's just strange. But again, it brings back the conversation of why did you even let Russian athletes compete, either as neutrals or as anything in the first place, given that major statewide doping scandal that happened some years back.
You know what it is? Sports and politics. They're like, if only we can avert this world war that they keep talking about
Yeah, I know what
with
you mean.
sports. You
Yeah,
never
so
know.
another certain countries in Africa, I can guarantee you, no African country would have allowed to compete if they had that kind of statewide doping.
I mean, come on, come
No,
on.
they don't be like, no, you can't. But it's Russia.
It's Russia,
It
people.
pays to be
Let
from
them
a
go.
big boy country. I'm telling you, should be from a big boy country.
See the way Vladimir Putin talks, you know it pays. All right, so the question that we have come to is what Zuma did to cats worse than racism, and we've got messages already coming in. Should I read messages or take the story?
Let's take the story.
Okay,
first.
so West Ham United's Mikel Antonio questioned the logic of people asking for teammate Kurt Zuma to be sacked after a video emerged of Zuma abusing his cats, with the striker asking if what the Frenchman did was worse than those guilty of racism.
Okay, so here's the thing. So by now you should have known, was fined 250,000 by his club.
Dropped by Adidas.
Dropped by Adidas. Vitality sponsorship also dropped. Another tourism agency also dropped sponsorship of West Ham. So the Vitality and the tourism agency,
So two sponsors,
two
gone
sponsors from the
team.
club, and then one from him, and then people were now calling for his sack. And his brother, who took the video, has also been suspended by his own club, and that one's career was literally just starting, so it's kind of ended. But he's been dropped by his club. The police is still investigating. Animal control has taken his two pet cats, and they're still also investigating. So the suspension of his brother is pending the outcome of that investigation, but we wait and see what happens. But the rage has been that, okay, yes, he did something bad, but is the punishment a little too great? I will say this as somebody, if you've been abroad before, you know exactly how they take animal control. And some of you can say it's PR because they still wear fur and they still use animal skin to make shoes and bags and the expensive ones, not the cheap ones.
Just to let you know, there's no cat skin coats or boots out there.
Yeah.
So,
but no, it's still animal rights, I mean. They're all
it's animal rights, but you know they have a special thing for pets. Like
Yeah.
if you say, "Oh, I don't like crocodile skin or cow skin," you're eating beef. So there's not that much that you will say about it. But you don't eat cats and you don't wear cats.
No.
So now
Some people eat cats and people wear dogs.
I mean,
and people
over
eat
there.
dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, over there in the UK.
Some people eat cats and
In the
dogs.
UK?
I don't know
UK?
where they
In
eat
the
in the UK.
In the UK.
No,
In
I don't-
some parts of Nigeria they do. I'm not sure about the UK, but
I don't know about the UK, but people eat cats and dogs. I'm
Of
just
course.
saying.
I know people.
Of course.
eat cats
I'm
and
just saying
dogs.
it's delicacy. Just because you're from the UK
No,
doesn't
no.
mean you should be shocked that people eat delicacies.
I'm saying looking at West Ham because when we're
Okay.
talking about
Yeah,
animal
no,
rights versus pet rights. you know.
No, animal rights. They're all animals to me. But anyway, so animal rights and all. So they're like, but if you know how animal rights is, I will tell you a story. When I was in the US and I was trying to kill a bug that was biting me.
Yeah, okay.
I was trying to kill the bug. And they said, don't slap your skin. You're going to squash it. I was like, that's the purpose of my slapping. I want to squash it. They said, just shoo it away.
Oh, wow.
I said, so if mosquito is sucking my blood, I should shoo it away. If we're not all right. But that's how they take their own things. You don't squash a bug, you don't kill. So
You don't kick
they
animals.
take it a little more seriously. And so Africans are in shock. But the rest of the world are like, this is normal. But what it is that the question came up. So Antonio was asked, and he asked the same question. So let's talk about Antonio Conte. When we come back from the break, we'll open the phone lines and we'll take your thoughts on the treatment of Kotsuma. We'll be right back. I could help people to sign out.
Oh, he said we'll be right back. Thank you. Just
I
quick.
think they're a little extreme.
That's because you
You
are.
should sack him.
That's
They
because
should
you are
strip him off.
African.
No, it's not just that. I wouldn't do that even if I was right.
No, you don't know how
Have
you
they
do it
sacked,
to white.
who have they sacked for racism? Or did they just suspend them and then bring back?
Yeah, but you know that
reinstatement?
animal rights racism.
I know. So because who was the guy from Kick It Out?
Yeah.
That said, hey, guys, leave it. It's not don't be competing with victimhood
Yeah.
here. I was like,
what is
but
wrong?
seriously though, what Antonio said was right. He said, who have you kicked off the club? Who have you sacked for
So
racism?
let me tell you how they treat it. So it's rich people. I can say rich people, but I should say rich white people. It's rich people.
Yes, because
Yes, which
nobody
one?
loves bringing down rich black people
Yeah,
more than
but,
the entire
yeah.
world.
So rich people, rich white people, rich black people, white men, white women, cats, black men, cars, black women.
Thank you. You got it right.
That's the ranking. So
You got it so right.
we rank behind
Said
cars.
that black women.
Black.
They say, oh, that was an accident. Is the car okay?
Yeah, it's the car okay. Be like, I bought my ride. Somebody scratched my Bugatti. Somebody pushed me on the road. Oh, honey, sorry. Somebody scratched my Bugatti.
They need to arrest the person that scratched my car.
So I'm sorry, man. I'm a woman. I know my place on the pyramid. I fight against
And it is
everywhere.
very, very low.
Yeah, so that's exactly how it ranks. So pets before black men, then cars, then black women.
But did you see Balotelli's this thing? Comments.
I don't care about what I'm
Say,
saying.
let's go and start our own country, start our own this thing.
I want to say something, but even on YouTube, they may pull down the video. So let me not say the thing I want to say about Balotelli.
Hello.
Bottom line, it should spam.
Okay, so we'll call the phone lines.
We'll call the
We'll
phone
come
lines.
back in. You'll say the question. Call the phone lines and
Yeah.
read the messages. Oh, let's see what you guys are saying up on YouTube. Oh,
Oh,
There we
YouTube.
go.
Hey B, hey LK, and everybody else that's watching. Hi. Can you see my yellow?
they can see all your contrasting colors. Okay, they've already started. That's good, good, good. Everybody's talking about Zuma. What's they are doing to the black man?
You
So
just
might be so depressed right now. Depressed to even do anything.
Hey, he will be plotting Cain and Abel style.
he better be sharp enough to get good lawyers.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because he's going to need them.
actually. Because you know what? All this one of canceling people
they
and
will
getting
jail
rid
him
of their
because of that.
jobs because
Yes,
of
now.
They're
opinions.
jailing for kicking cats.
That's animal rights.
That's rubbish.
It's animal rights. Okay, here we are back for more Inside the Locker Room, and the conversation off air has been epic. Make sure you go over to youtube.com/smooth 981 FM Lagos. If you're not there now, don't worry, you can catch the replay later on. So, Tega, you asked a question.
Yes,
You wanted
so-
us to open up the phone line.
Yeah, let's talk about Kotsuma now. Nobody's questioning what he did is right or wrong, but what do you think about the treatment of Kotsuma? Now I know some of you have said racism and all. I'm just trying to tell you that abroad, animal rights is really, really
It's a
taken
big-
It's
seriously.
huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
So we are talking as Africans, but the incidents happen in the UK. So
All right, so 01448991. Call us up, and we're taking messages. Let's go over to YouTube first because we're already on the live stream. And LK Aderogba says the punishment does not fit the crime. It's too much. This cancel culture policy that people are adopting now is abysmal.
This one says there are people who have done worse things than a cat than Zuma. Their mistake was recording it and sharing it. I don't condone mistreatment of animals, but the punishment is getting too harsh.
Oh, that's from B. B, thank you.
All right, and boy, the messages that are coming in. Tosan says, Tega Tiger, good morning. For me, people should just stop shouting, especially people saying Zuma should be sacked from West Ham. Eden Hazard kicked a ball boy. His livelihood wasn't taken away, and his sponsorship deals weren't removed. Eric Cantona did the same thing, and these people were behind him, saying anyone can make a mistake. Yeah. Oluwakemi says, what Kurt Zuma did was wrong, but it is a cat. Eric Cantona, Luis Suarez, and Eden Hazard attacked human beings, and yet their livelihoods weren't taken away. Their deals with brands also weren't withdrawn. And Russia are just a doping nation, says Oluwakemi.
Mecca comes in from Amo. He says Zuma kicked the cat. We agree that was wrong, but Haba, the punishment and outcry has been so excessive. Even Greenwood rape case didn't get this attention. Lastly, in reference to Arsenal game, I think the EPL needs to start importing referees from abroad because they're just horrendous.
We get to that story, yes, about the red card that I gave Martinelli.
Okay, in just a bit. Let's take a couple more messages. And Cruz says, Tega, are we sure there isn't something in their water in Russia?
Okay, whatever it is, the other citizens are not drinking it. It only happens to be their athletes that are drinking it.
There's special water just for the athletes. And Sela says, this Zuma brothers matter, not just pure village people. Pure and simple. Not like I'm saying lashing out at critters is a big deal, but why on earth would these guys go and mess up their lives? The matter not clear. Also, cat pepper soup is a major delicacy in Ghana.
Oh, wow.
Please don't feed it to me.
This Zuma story goes to show that the world is full of hypocrisies. This is racism at play. No one should tell me otherwise.
Funny enough, I think if a white guy was filmed hitting and kicking a cat,
It might not be
it
as
would be.
No.
He might not be sacked,
But the outcry will still be huge.
it would be huge.
You don't understand this animal rights thing.
Like, it's such a big deal, though.
I
They
said I
track
saw these people
down.
pushing dog in pram, dog inside pram. Is a dog not supposed to be running around to to show that it's a dog?
They call them their fur babies.
Yeah.
They're babies to them. And Alex from Shogunle says, I personally think that the whole Kurt Zuma cat kicking saga is gradually slipping into the realm of becoming overkill. He has been punished enough, says Alex. And we've got a phone call coming in on 0144899981.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. What's your name? Okay, Jesse.
Okay, Jesse, go ahead. Tell us.
Hi guys,
Morning.
my contribution to this for human, I don't know whether human lives and animal lives, which one is more important. So, but I believe that these people, especially the English media, how they go about this, they have blown it out of proportion. Jurgen Klopp, my coach, during the Nations Cup, he said he thought he was thinking that the African Cup of Nations was a small business. The English media made a defense for him that it was misinterpreted. So I don't know why they are doing this kind of thing to Africa. To me, it is pure racism.
All right.
Eden Hazard kicked a small boy. He was not sacked from Chelsea. He wasn't given a 4-year prison.
Okay, then. My brother, you can list them and you can name them, but you know what? We'll see what happens with Zuma. Thank you so much for your call,
Thank
though.
you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I think their own defense is that animals can't defend themselves. All these pets can't defend themselves. But human beings can. But I'll say this, that when they racially abused Patrice Evra, they were both on the pitch. And if Patrice Evra had decked Luis Suarez, it's red card and suspension.
Yeah.
And if Luis Suarez had good lawyers, it could have been assault and jail term. So human beings at the end of the day are still not defending themselves. But a cat has scratched me, and nobody slapped him back.
I'm just saying, you can't. You've seen the video. Which human being, adult human being, by the way, because children are in the same category as animals as far as
But
they're concerned.
did you see the NFL video? The guy that was beating up his girlfriend.
Ray Rice now, yeah, in the elevator.
That cat, no, not the one in
No,
the
which
elevator.
one?
The one that was beating up his girlfriend in the house.
And the recent one.
Oh,
There are many. There are many. That's why
there's
I'm
so
mixing
many.
them. That cat did not. That cat was. They were petting that cat as far as I was
Oh my
concerned
God.
compared to what they did to that girl.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
So-
I need to catch that video, please.
All right, so let's go to another story.
Okay. And let's talk about Chelsea, yeah? Chelsea aim to put a turbulent past couple of months behind them by winning the Club World Cup final against Palmeiras on Saturday, the start of a season-defining period for the European champions. And Kovacic said, we're desperate to win this trophy. We could be the first team in Chelsea history to bring this trophy to London, so we are happy that we're in such a big final.
Yes, so when they got in 2012, they lost it in the final. So today, on Saturday, they get into the final and they want to win it and bring it home. Another trophy. First of all, they're not having a good time in the Premier League. I think they're 13 points off the top now? But they're far away.
I was worried. I thought you were going to say that 13 points, they're 13th position.
No. but they're far away from the trophy and it's looking even further. But they still have the League Cup, they have the FA Cup, and now the FIFA Club World Cup. The difference between all those other competitions is that their hand is literally on this trophy. And it's theirs to lose if you look at opposition. So they'd want to win it, but I guess at the end of the day, they have to put the work on the field to get the result that they need.
Abami comes in with an interesting one. He says, good morning. Two things. When it's another man's country, know the culture and the truth, not racism. All right, so let's talk about Napoli. So Inter face Napoli as title race hot stop. So wounded champions, Inter, face the second major threat to their Serie A title defense in a week when they travel to Napoli on Saturday. One of Europe's tightest title race heats up.
Yes, so a huge deal for Inter Milan. They lost last weekend to AC Milan, and Napoli won their game against Venezia, so it brought the gap down to 1 point. And now Inter faces Napoli. Inter will be without their coach because he was suspended for almost getting it into it with a referee at the sideline. So, Simeone, calm down. Simeone Inzaghi, I mean, just calm down. But Napoli seem to be on the up. And so they come into the game with all their players available, including goal-scoring Victor Osimhen. So it's going to be a really tough battle, but the winner gets top spot in Italian Serie A. And that is more motivation than anybody needs to win. All right.
Okay, so real quick, Arsenal claimed a first win in 6 matches in all competitions, with defender Gabriel scoring the only goal in a 1-0 victory at Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Yes, so this is the match where we're talking about the refereeing decision. So 2 incidents happened at once, and ideally you would say the referee should give a yellow card, but he gave a yellow card for 2 incidents that happened back to back for each event. So the guy took a red card and he was shocked, and the people were shocked, and I was shocked. But Michael Oliver wasn't. He apparently had justification for it. So
by the way, real quick, just to cut in, because my wife from Ikeja sent us a screenshots, and he was like, hey guys, look at the FA rules with regards to Arsenal's red cards. If the offense, and he's actually highlighted the bit we need to look at, if the offense was interfering with or stopping a promising attack, the player is not cautioned.
Yeah, so this is what happened. So the first one was he pushes somebody, and then he chases after the next person to try to stop him from getting the ball upfield. Now, ideally, the coach would just be like, you're trying to waste that. The referee would just be like, you're trying to waste time here, or you take the yellow card for the 2 incidents. But this guy looks up, give him one incident for that one, then turn around, give him another incident for. I'm just like,
Wait,
Michael
what's
Oliver,
going
which
on?
rule book did this come from? Like, what? Okay. I'm all the way in Lagos here. I can't do anything. So I'm just like, okay, But what it meant was that Arsenal had to finish that match with 1 man down at the Molineux against Wolverhampton Wanderers, who are a good team.
They're quite used to playing with 1 man down.
Yeah, but Arsenal has had 101 red cards. I think it's the highest number of red cards by a Premier League club in the Premier League.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
Even Sergio Ramos will be bowing for people.
Say.
And for a team that is not very physical, it's strange if you hear that, Bolton Wanderers of the 90s, and the early 2000s took this amount of red cards. It'll be normal.
I know Xhaka
Yeah,
has 50 out of those 100 red cards.
But Arsenal getting this amount of red cards for a team that is not so physical is shocking. But yeah, they tend to make some silly mistakes sometimes. And sometimes their reputation go ahead of them. Like Xhaka, I don't think Xhaka should have gotten as many red cards as he has gotten. But As soon as it's Xhaka, the rules change a
Man,
bit.
once you brand someone a bad boy, man,
Yeah.
looking at everything they do with bad eye, man. So yeah, wow, Arsenal, I don't know what to say. Okay, and that is that. We are done for the day, but don't you worry, Locker Room comes up again on Monday, bright and early. Who knows what kind of love scene there will be? And yes, I see that message in from Nolly up on youtube.com/smooth981 FM, Lagos. And Nolly says the gods are busy with the Winter Olympics and cricket playing somewhere. They will get back to you at LK Adiroga. He says, I call on the gods, both foreign and domestic. Please help Chelsea win this Club World Cup so that I can banter Man U and Arsenal with clear mind. And very quickly, Nolias also says on Zuma's punishment is proportional. Moya should not have played him. If he wants to kick cats, he should stay at home. He forgot he's a black man in a foreign country. What did he really expect? And that's that, people.
I wanted to give Nolly a high five.
She'll give
Never
it to me
forget
by
where you
proxy.
come from. Never forget that. Your parents told you every day.
All right. Now, catch Tega up on social media. She reigns there at Tega Supreme. Coming up, we've got great music for you. Feel good music for Feel Good Friday right here on Smooth Breakfast.